Hi and welcome back. It's good to have you here. If you're returning, it's lovely to see you back. And if you've just come across me, then it's lovely to see you. My name's Carole, and this is my channel, which is just about my life and all the things I get up to. And can you believe it? We're only a week out from Christmas. I cannot believe we've got this close already. But we have, and so there's still quite a bit to do. So I just thought I'd just share with you what I'm planning to do over the next week as we get to Christmas, and then I'll video some of it, and it might be one vlog or it might make up a couple. So I have got most of what I need in terms of food. We will do another big shop before Christmas. But over the next few days, I want to make all what I call our other little bits and pieces. Which is sweetie things and biscuity things. And so to get ready for Christmas, I think I've mentioned before, if you've been here before, I have my little Christmas book. And what I do is I work out who's coming when, and then I back plan to get everything ready for Christmas Day. Now this year, we haven't got a huge number. We've just got my sons and the grandchildren. And family coming, so there'll just be 7 of us on Christmas Day, which is a really nice number. And because the 2 grandchildren that are here are 16 and 18, it's a bit of an adult Christmas. So I'm sort of planning a bit more of an adult meal and adult bits around, not worrying too much about all the other bits and pieces that the little kids used to love. And that's it. And then we're going up to Mike's daughter's after Christmas. So. As far as Christmas Day itself is concerned, it's just the Christmas dinner, and I work backwards and do some pre-planning, so I'll tell you about that, and then most of it is ready to go on the day. I don't know if any of you have been watching, I don't know if you watch cookery programmes. I love cookery programmes, and Jamie's been doing a make ahead Christmas, and that's been really good. So but I think that was a repeat because he made the make ahead gravy and I do the make ahead gravy. So sometime this week I'll be making the gravy Christmas Day, and then that goes in the freezer and pull it out on Christmas Eve to make the gravy on Christmas Day. So I'll hopefully show you that. But before that, I've got all the other bits to do. So the things that I've made over previous years that everyone loves are shortbread. It's me that loves the shortbread, but other people love it as well. But I love shortbread. I also make Rocky Road, and I make 2 different sorts of Rocky Road. I make a Amaretti Rocky Road, which I think was a Nigella recipe years ago. And in recent years, I've made a Biscoff Rocky Road. And some of the family like one, some like the other. So I'm going to make a tray of both. It sits in the fridge. It lasts for ages because it's just chocolate and butter and lots of things that we shouldn't eat. But at Christmas, we all love to enjoy, don't we? So that's probably going to be the first thing I make because that keeps well. So that'll be the first thing you'll probably see me make is 2 different sorts of Rocky Road. Then I make some little spice biscuits, which are just lovely when you just want a little bite with coffee or tea. And they come from a National Trust recipe, so I'll be making those. I usually make fudge, so I'm hoping I can make fudge this year as well. I usually either make a salted caramel fudge or a Bailey's fudge. So I've checked through my recipes and decide which one of those I'll make, and I'll share that with you as well. I've still got to ice the Christmas cake. I still want to make some more mince pies for Christmas, so I'll share with you. I do different sorts of mince pies, so I'll share that with you as well. And then as we get nearer, by Christmas Eve, I'll have my roast potatoes prepared and ready just to go back in the oven on Christmas Day. I'll have all the veg prepared to go in. So it was the week before Christmas, and we've got quite a bit to get done. So come along, join me, see what I do, and hope you enjoy it and hope you get some good ideas. And if not, just enjoy thinking about it. Okay, I'll catch up with you in a bit when I'm ready to start, probably the Rocky Road. Okay, so we're going to get on with the Rocky Road, and I'm going to start with the Biscoff Rocky Road. But before I do, these are what I use. I've mentioned foil trays before. I bought a whole stack of them today because everything at Christmas I tend to do rather than use my baking trays, I use foil. apart from anything else with Rocky Road, it's just easy to get it out once it's in a foil container. Otherwise, you have to line it and everything. And then when we finish with it, I can just throw it away. So that's the container I'm going to use. The ingredients that I'll need for this, I need 400 grams of white chocolate. So I think I've got 300 here. I'll get some more out of my cupboard. It is very rich, very sweet. Just to warn you, if you've got a sweet tooth, you'll love it. And if you love Biscoff, you'll love it. I do. I love Biscoff. And then we'll need butter, just a small amount of butter. And then I add Biscoff spread and Biscoff biscuits and some mini marshmallows. So I'll tip you down and I'll show you how I'm going to do this. And the first thing I'm going to need is to have a bowl over some boiling water, because it has to be melted over boiling water, like what they call a bain-marie. Okay, so I'll tip you down and then you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Right, so I've got a small amount of water boiling the bottom of this pan. I want to keep that boiling away, and I'm going to put my glass dish, which has got the 50 grams of butter in there. And to that, I need to add the 400 grams of white chocolate. So what I've done, I had some bars. That was the two bars I showed you. That's 300. I've just broken that up, so that can go in. You can use chocolate like that, or you can use the chocolate buttons. And I happen to have a bag of 100 chocolate buttons, so that was an easy way just to add the extra 100 in. I'm going to put those in as well. And that's all going to sit over there while it melts down. Give it a little while, and then you can start to give it a move around. What you need to make sure is the bowl isn't touching the boiling water. So you need to keep an eye on the water that doesn't run dry. Now, while that's doing that, I need to prepare what's going into it. So over here, I have Biscoff biscuits. And this is a whole pack of those, which is 250 grams. They are going to go in to make the Rocky of the Rocky Road. So the best way of doing that, if you want to break it all up, I find, is to put them in to a plastic bag. Sorry, it's going to take a few minutes to tip them all out. I should have started that off. Right. Tip them all in there. And this is what gives the crunch of the Rocky Road. And this one, as I say, is very sweet. The children particularly like it. I will probably use some of this to give as gifts as well. So once that's all in the bag, just lay the bag out like that. And then, oh, forgot my rolling pin. Hang on a minute. Just going to take my rolling pin and right, you want it to break down into pieces. Rather, you don't want it powder. You do want some crunch in there. So you want to sort of get it down to small pieces. So I'm just going to give it one more, I think. There you go. And that's a whole load of broken biscuits. So that's going to go in there. The other thing that will go in there is 125 grams of the Biscoff spread, which I'm going to melt in the microwave, and just a few little bursts until it melts down. That will go in there as well. And then I've got mini marshmallows to go in as well. So let's see how this is doing. All right, can you see that is now beginning? Hang on, let me just get one of my... Hold the bowl. That is now beginning to melt over that hot water. The butter and the chocolate melting together. That won't take long. So I'll turn you off until that's all melted. I'll just show you me putting everything in and how I put it into the tray. Okay? Nice and easy, really, as long as you've got everything ready. Okay, so it only takes a couple of minutes for that to all melt down. And so you end up with sort of a pasty white expression there. I'm just going to get my oven glove so I can get hold of it properly. And that it only takes 2 or 3 minutes, so that's fine. Take that out. Right, so now Into that, I'm going to add my melted Biscoff spread. So that was like 40 seconds in the microwave. Let's pour that in. This really is for the Biscoff lovers, but we have a family of Biscoff lovers. Both my son and both my sons have had Biscoff cakes for their birthdays before. Oh, sorry, I haven't got you quite up. Can you see me? Sorry, just off the top of my head, but I think that'll have to do. Right, so I'm going to mix that in with the white chocolate. It's just getting a little bit looser now. I think the first time I really discovered Biscoff was when they give these Lotus biscuits with your coffee, don't they? And I didn't realise what it was. And then they bought the children started having the spread, and I was like, oh, I really like that. So, sorry, I don't like that you can't see my head. Let me see if I can tip you up just a little bit further, but still see me and see what I'm doing. Let's have a look. Is that better? That's a bit better. Right, so mixing all that in. Right, then I'm going to take the biscuits and tip all these in. And you can see it's a mix, if I just show you, it's a mix of lumps and broken up, but it all gets coated in this mixture. I have got the biggest glass bowl I've got, and I need a glass bowl to go over the water, so this is the bit that takes a bit of doing. And then we're going to take a bag of marshmallows. It says 150 grams. I don't think you need that much, so I just use 100 grams of mini marshmallows. One of the things that's always in the house, so the children can have hot chocolate with marshmallows, and so can Granny. I don't know about you, but I quite like my marshmallows. Right, so I'm just going to get this all mixed in. It takes a little bit of time. I might need to have to just tip it out into a bigger bowl to do that, and then I'll show you how I just put it in the tray. And then it just goes in the fridge and sets there. Once it's set, you can take it out of the tray and wrap it or put it in a plastic bag, and you can cut it as you want it over the holidays. But let me just finish mixing this and I'll just show you it in the tray. Right, so there we go. That's all mixed in. The nice thing, you put the marshmallows in, because it's still warm, some of them start to just sort of melt, so you get a nice bit of chewiness in there as well. But that's all now mixed. And then all I have to do, because I'm using the foil tray, if you're using a baking tray, you will need to line it. But because I'm using the foil tray, all I need to do is to tip it in. So let's bring this over here. Just going to tip that into there. And then you just smooth it down. Okay, so just got to smooth this down into the tray. Try and push the marshmallows into the mix so you don't get too many lying on the top. But there are quite a lot down in there. Just scoop the last of that off the... And then I find the easiest thing to do is just to run this under water so it's damp, and then you can just smooth over the top to get it as smooth as you can. Just push those marshmallows in that are sticking out. And there we have it. So that's going to go into the fridge. I'll leave it in there until later today, so 3 or 4 hours. It should have set by then. And either leave it in there and just cover it, or what I often do is tip it out and wrap it, cut it into 2 pieces, so that I've then got a couple of bits to get out over the holiday. But as I say, I might be using some of it as gifts this time. So, Biscoff, love it. Okay, that's Biscoff Rocky Road. We'll do the Amaretti one in a minute. All right, so now I'm going to make the Amaretti. Rocky Road. And for that, it's very similar. I've got butter, but a lot more, 175 in this one. And not quite so much, well, almost as much chocolate. So there's 100, I think it's 150 of milk chocolate and 250 of dark. So whereas the last one was 400 of white, this is 400 of mixed dark and light. That's a Tesco's, that's a Aldi, they all sell it. So, or you can get the buttons, which obviously just go down a bit quicker, but I don't find it takes too long to melt the chocolate. You're going to need Amaretti biscuits. Now, I think places like Tesco do them, but Lidl have these in every so often, so I just keep them in the cupboard. Sometimes I just use them to put out with a little coffee if friends come round. But these are the biscuit. These are the crunch that goes into this one, and it will be the same. I'll put them in the bag, smash them, and then they will go in. This one also has marshmallows in it, and then on top of that, it has cherries. So these are just glacé cherries like you buy for baking, but you chop them up a bit so that they're in smaller pieces. So I'll just finish that off. And the other thing that goes in this is golden syrup. So to start with, in an ordinary saucepan, this doesn't need to be done over bain-marie, this is done in a saucepan, but do make sure you've got a heavy base saucepan. All my saucepans are heavy base, so that's fine. So I'm going to put so the butter's already in there. I'm going to add the chocolate, and then I'm going to add, let's try to remember, 4 tablespoons of the golden syrup. And then I will put that over a low heat and melt that. So I'll get that melted, and then it will be the same as before, just putting everything in. So that is, just to remind you again, I'll try and put the recipes underneath, but that's 175 grams of butter, softened. I've had my butter out of the fridge for the last little while. And then the chocolate and the golden syrup, that's going to get melted down. So let me just get that going, and then I'll show you how to do the rest of it. All right, so this is nearly melted now. As you can see, this one is much runnier. The other one was quite pasty. This is much runnier, but it does have more in it. So the butter's just waiting for that last bit of butter to melt. And obviously that's partly to do with more butter and also the golden syrup. Right, that's now melted. So I'm going to so I've crushed up my Amaretti biscuits the same as I did with the Biscoff. In they go. And I guess, if you've got another special biscuit you like, I don't know, ginger nuts might be a bit on the hard side to crush. I guess you could try it. Amaretti and Biscoff obviously are the 2 biscuits that often get served up with coffee. And so they're a good one. So just going to mix that in. So that's becoming now more as your crunch. And then I've chopped up all these cherries, so they're going in next. Distribute that through the mix. A few bits got away. At the moment, I've just had to chase Mike out the kitchen because he wants to come and taste it all before it's ready. Right. And then the marshmallows. And once again, because it's still warm, they will slightly begin to melt into it, which is rather nice. And my children say they like this one because it's not too packed full. You can still enjoy the chocolate. So they are different, the 2 Rocky Roads. Okay, let me just put this into the pan then. That's just going to go in there now. As you can see, that is nowhere near as stiff as the Biscoff one. Got all the chocolate out. Mike will be out here any minute now wanting to lick out all the pans. He never did grow up. Last year he got beaten to it by the grandchildren. So there you go. You can see that fills that pan. It fills that foil. And there we have it. That's the Amaretti Rocky Road. And that, once again, will go in the fridge. And once it's set, takes a bit longer to set. So that one I probably leave in there. Might not even take it out till tomorrow morning and let that set. So as I say, that's those 2 rocky roads made in the fridge. They are now done. All I need to do is cut them up for Christmas. So as we count down this week, and this week before Christmas, that's the first thing I shall make. That's on the first day. Tomorrow I'll probably get on to doing the biscuits. There's the make ahead gravy and there's the fudge. It might be the fudge, Annette, shall see. See what mood I'm in tomorrow. But I hope you enjoyed that. As I say, I'll put the recipe below and I'll be back with the next instalment. And please do, if you want to carry on following with this, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, then you'll get notified when the next one's on. Okay?